customer he already knew what he wanted from me.
Yep.
He wanted a chimney cap. He knew what it was going to cost. He called me out. He said, I don't want anything expensive. He told me what to get him essentially when I showed up.
Sure.
So I did an exterior inspection, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just for one.
So and I always ask people, like, I've learned over the years that expensive means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What does expensive look like to you?
Yeah.
Right? Then I'll kind of get an idea of what are they expecting that to look like, and I say, well, at that price point, this is kind of where we would be looking. I wouldn't recommend that because of A, B, or C. So typically the minimum recommendation I would have would be here for reasons D, E, and F. But if this is truly what you want, this leaves you in a better spot than you were. But it's one of those things. It's like, as long as it's not a safety issue, whatever. Like, you want to leave your chimney, falling apart, and all you want to do is put this cap on there, go for it. Now, I'm not going to. If someone told me they just wanted a full coverage cap, for example, and top 2 or 3 courses need to be rebuilt, I'm unwilling to sell that, right? Because I tell them, look, this is basically creating a kite. These bricks are loose. First good windstorms, this is a big parachute that's going to fly off and take all the bricks with it. I'm going to be responsible for it. So unless we at least take care of these top, 3 or 4 courses, then I won't be the guy that can help you with this. Now, I can put a single flue cap on this tile, or whatever the case may be, but yeah, as long as it's not an improper repair or an unsafe thing, then if that's all they want, that's all they want. Just be sure you document the hell out of it that did not inspect for safety, did not do interior evaluation, customer only allowed exit. That way if something ever happens down the road and they're like, well, All American was out here, they didn't say anything about that, you have that documentation to say what happened.
Is there any justification of having maybe some vetting on the CSR's end in terms of that? Like, I know you don't want to give out pricing over the phone or anything.
Yeah, to me, no.
Okay.
I would ask, why do you want a chimney cap? Nobody just wakes up and goes,
Yeah,
wait,
that's
6 years, today's the day I'm getting my chimney
That's
cap.
exactly right.
There's
What
a
makes
reason.
You think you need a chimney cap?
That's
Yeah,
exactly
why?
right.
What's going on to make you think this is going to solve your issue, or what's the problem you're having?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some companies I listen to their inbound calls, and the more knowledge the CSR has, the worse the calls tend to go. It's just the truth. They start trying to diagnose. They start trying to tell their job is to get you in the door, right? Not to set you up for shit, but their job is to get you in the door, and then you do all the questions, right? Literally, I was listening to a call not long ago. It was a couple of months ago, but the person was like, and what kind of appliance do you have? They're like, it's a stove, wood stove. Like, okay, and is it out in the room with a pipe coming out of it, or is it in your fireplace? You're like, no, it's in the fireplace. It's like, okay, do you know if there's a metal pipe coming out of the roof? And he's like, I don't know, I don't think so. It's like, okay, well, sir, you have what we call in the industry a slammer, which means those don't meet today's code, so we're not going to be able to sweep it for you, but I can send someone out to talk to you about replacement. Okay, have a good day. Completely lost that opportunity. Whereas if you would have went out there, you could have explained, like, this is a creosote factory. Most likely we had flue fires. We got a whole new unit out of the entire thing under insurance. But we lost that entire appointment because someone thought they were helping, right? So I tend to, my job for the CSR is to get you in the door and with as little barriers as possible. Know what you're getting into, know what type of system, make sure you're trained on it. But if they start saying, well, it's do you know about how much this is going to cost? Sir, I don't. Every cap we sell is custom made to your chimney. They'll get out, they'll do those measurements, they'll be able to give you the price before they leave, right? Just get you in the door. I get it. As a rep, I've been on some, I swear to God, true story. Brian Barnhill 2 days ago, 2 days ago, I go out and our call was 2 chimneys that bricks were falling into the house. Possible insurance job. That was the description. We get out to this house, there's no chimneys. Literally not a chimney on the entire house. The lady thought the chimneys were her roof vents. Just the little air vents, circulation vents. And I was like, well, what's falling in? They had 2 old coal burning fireplaces that a few pieces of sand and mortar had fallen through the lintel, and they've been roofed over for years. it's like, go to Lowe's and buy you some expansion foam, you're fine. You know, it's kind of like, you know, well, like, but if they would have tried to dive into that, you know, maybe that saved us that appointment, but I think it does way more harm than good.
It's a Valor sale right there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I was telling Francis I had a nice sale in Pittsburgh like a month ago. This old 1890s house had 4 old coal boxes, and you know, like just no throats, nothing. So sold 4 of those Portrait Series Ventforees that looks like the coal baskets. So, all right. So objections. The idea here is I want you to really just understand that all an objection is a barrier to yes, right? It's a reason I'm not saying yes yet. And so typically all objections can either be handled, prevented with a proper sales process. And so one of the things that I want to talk about, and if you've watched some of my videos, you may have heard this, but so again, I want to get you guys to the point where you're proposing on the spot, but let's just talk in general in sales. What are the potential outcomes of a sale? You give a proposal to a customer, what are the potential outcomes? It's not a trick question, by the way.
So yes or no?
So yes or no, or is there anything else?
Maybe.
Maybe, right? Everything is a yes, no, or a maybe. How do we know it's a yes?
Give us a deposit.
Yeah, contract deposit, right? Signature deposit. How do we know it's a no? Never happened, and don't call me again. I'm doing the work with someone else.
They slap the iPad out of your.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't like that. That odds of that.
I don't think we get a lot of no's. I think
You
we get a
don't.
lot of maybes, which leaves us wondering.
You rarely get no's, right?
Right.
Rarely. Just not going to happen, Alan. Rarely. So let's just play a fun numbers game. How many people do you think say yes when you're on the spot?
30%.
Okay. You guys believe that's true? 1 out of 3 say yes when you're there. How'd your commercial go?
First take.
Okay. All right. Nailed it.
First thing?
I hate to bother you, but can I get y'all's order? Nathan, I need yours. Just tell me.
Just a side salad and